Hey everyone, this is Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission, and I am a 14-year online reseller on eBay, Poshmark, Depop, and for a whole month now, I am a reseller on Whatnot, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Is so far what my Whatnot journey has kind of came to. It's been 1 month. My first show was August 18th, and now we're towards the end of September, so it's been a full month. And I didn't jump into Whatnot as much as maybe I thought I did. I didn't do a lot of research and stuff beforehand, and I kind of shared some of those videos. I have an entire playlist so far with my Whatnot journey. So if you're interested in finding out anything about that journey, you can go to that playlist. Because it has been a journey, I will tell you, trying any new platform can be overwhelming, and I messed some things up. I had some emotional downs. It has been a lot, but I'm here to give a 1 month update about how it's going. In 1 month, I did 11 shows, and this is my total number of sales in this 1 month period for 11 shows was, any guesses? 1 month of shows on Whatnot. $2,084.47 in sales. That doesn't include shipping. They pay shipping separate. They, as in obviously the buyers. So I feel like that's a pretty good number for my first month of trying something completely new. I mean, 2,000 sounds good to me. A lot of times, I will share with you some of the numbers. So my highest sales number in one show was $349 in sales, and my lowest show was only $63 in sales, which I am of course always thankful for any amount of sales, but I will say that some of my shows absolutely did better than others, and I'll kind of go over some of my thoughts on that. One being that I do clothes, primarily clothes and shoes, purses, whatever, and I have had some success in my kids' clothing shows, but I have felt that they were the most difficult to do. And I think that is because in kids' shows, as many of you probably know, there's a ton of different kids' sizes. So that has been very difficult for me. There's boys, girls, there's baby sizes, toddler sizes, youth sizes. And at my shop, which is where I do run some of my Whatnot shows directly from my brick and mortar shop. So if you're curious about what my store looks like, you could go into my Whatnot shows and watch one of them. This is my other Whatnot area where I sell from as well. So the kids shows, and I know, isn't this like a new environment? I've never done a video here. My lighting is a little strange. Hopefully I can figure that out. But yes, this is where I literally stand right here behind me. I'm sitting right now, where I do my Whatnot shows from my office. And my husband helped me kind of make this nice little area. You can see some of my items I'm prepping for my next one, Tuesday. Ooh. We'll see what day this actually comes out, but Tuesdays I'm doing, random pull, like freshly thrifted clothes. And that's my most enjoyable show. But the kids shows have been a little rough. I've felt like I have let people down, meaning that, people have requests. And granted, some Whatnot sellers do not take requests. Those literally say, like, I'm not taking requests, meaning people will ask for things. Do you have this brand? Do you have this size? Do you have this color? There are lots of Whatnot sellers that don't even pay attention to those requests. They'll put in their show notes, I don't do requests. For the kids show, I do take requests, and I do believe that has given me some difficulties because I can't keep up with all the sizing requests. And a lot of times, customers on Whatnot, it's like a live auction, right? Like if you were live at a estate sale type of auction, you guys know me, I have my notes here. So if they aren't enjoying your show, they don't see their size, they don't see what they're wanting, they just swipe, boop, she gone. All of a sudden, you have 12 viewers and then you'll have 7, because if you're not selling what they're looking for, they leave. The problem with that, with a kids show and with taking requests in general, is that if you don't get to the request soon enough, they leave. But then when you do get to the request, they might not be there. And that has happened to me many times. And I personally feel bad because people wait and wait and wait. And it takes me forever to get to all the requests. And it just kind of becomes a little bit of a mess. So I will say, if you are in the clothing game, and especially if you're in the kids clothing game, I would think about those types of scenarios and how you'd like to approach them. I do watch a couple other whatnot sellers who do clothes only, and it does seem like sometimes they get frustrated with the requests just because it's a lot to think about, it's a lot to follow, and you know, it's a lot to manage, especially by yourself. So and if you're not a kid's clothing seller, you're not thinking about that, you could still think about that in your own whatnot shows. Are you going to take requests? Even if it's home decor, people might be like, hey, do you have anything that has a pig on it? Or are you just going to line up your items and you're going to show them and run them for sale as you have them displayed? That is one thing that you will have to decide. And for me, 1 month in, I would say the request for the children is the request for the children. It sounded like I was going to say something crazy there. For the children's show is overwhelming for me, and it becomes stressful, and I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that in the future. So take note, think about that. Even if you don't do kids shows, whatever you're trying to sell, it can be applicable no matter what you're selling. Are you going to take requests? Are you not? Even with some of my adult sizing clothes, the requests do become overwhelming. So my Tuesday shows now, I'm 1 month in, I've kind of pivoted. My Tuesday shows are now freshly thrifted, meaning things I just got from the bins this past week, and there's no requests. It's just, hey, this is what I have. Boom, this is what I have. Boom, this is what I have. Maybe at the end I would take some requests, or will do reruns, but I'm not doing requests during the show. Plus or minus, we're going to see how the second month goes doing those types of shows. But for me, they're more enjoyable. And I do think that is key. Finding something that you enjoy. Hopefully you are selling things that you enjoy, and that you can be yourself while you're doing it. Because when I get overwhelmed, I get hot, and I'm flinging things around and trying to figure things out, and it just gets a little messy, if I do say so. Because I'm trying to keep track of everyone, and it just becomes hard. Now, you can have moderators on your show. What that means is someone else with a whatnot name, you can have them as a moderator. Essentially, there's someone who can help moderate your show. So if there are size requests, your moderator can put in notes for you, and you can see it says moderator in the chat, where you can look at what the moderator is saying. And my sisters, I'm very blessed. I do have sisters who help me. My mom has been in there. My kids have been in there. And a couple of you guys, thank you guys, Lisa, Autumn, Lori, Rachel, I'm sure there's a ton, Trolley, there's a million of you. And I do really appreciate that, because you guys know that I always appreciate all of your support. But your moderators can help you keep track of any requests or what anybody is saying. Because let me tell you, especially because I don't have very good eyes, and on your little screen, even though I have my laptop right next to me, a lot of times I can't see what people are saying, or there's so many people joining, it'll say so-and-so joined, so-and-so commented, that it's going so fast that I can't keep up. So having a moderator could even just be like your spouse, or like I said, your kid, your sister, can come in during your show and help keep track of things. And I would say, if you have the ability to do that, definitely I would say utilize that, especially in the beginning when you're getting used to things. It can be extremely helpful. Which I do also want to note that there is a rehearsal mode in your seller hub of whatnot. It's called rehearsal mode. It will put you in and show your video just like this, so that you can pretend essentially about your whatnot show. It'll give you all the tips. It says rehearsal mode, and then it'll show you what you're looking at. So you can pre-set up your camera, hit the rehearsal mode. It'll show you exactly what's going to show on your screen. So if you need to make any modifications, I do this every show before I go on. I hit the rehearsal mode. I look at the background. Okay, anything funny going on? How's my hair? Hot Mess Express. I do a little check of what my background looks like so I don't look like a crazy person. And I will say, this new setup here, my office is in the basement. That's my laundry running if you hear a little rumble in the background. Girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do. So another thing I have in here that many of you have asked about is how do you keep track of the items you sell, which I should have really grabbed. Let me grab one. I've seen people keep track of their items a ton of different ways. Now, as I talked about in one of my other Whatnot videos, if you preload all of your items with a full title, as if you were listing it on eBay, Poshmark, wherever, then you don't have to worry about when it sells, because when it comes up in your orders, it will say exactly the item that's sold. Women's Columbia button-up XL. However, a lot of Whatnot people, we don't do that. What you do instead is usually I write down the buyer's name, like their code name, like your login, like mine's Mama on a Mission. So I'll put in Mama, thank you Mama on a Mission. Or I use these little guys. And primarily because all of my items are on a hanger, of course, it will number the items out for you. Clothing 1, clothing 2. That's how it runs when you don't have your items completely preloaded into your shop. You never realize how long your laundry's ding tone is until you have to sit and listen to it. So these are I bought these off of Amazon. It was like $7. I got 0 to 100, wishing on a falling star that I would sell 100 items in one show. And I just put it on my hanger, and that's how I check. I keep track of my items, and then when you go into your order, it'll say clothing 1, clothing 2, clothing 3, and that's how I pull them out. So, of course, if you don't do clothing, you can find a different way. I've seen people tag them, already have like a tag on them. I've seen people use masking tape or any type of tape that you can put number 2 and put it on the bottom of your item, something like that. And in the event that you feel like you messed something up, you're not sure what the item is, Whatnot has what they call a video receipt. And I have used this many times already. I have found it very helpful that you can go back into your order, and even though it might say clothing item number 1, you can hit video receipt and it will show you what you were saying and what you were showing when that item sold. So every once in a while I'm like, oh, okay, I just want to make sure this is right. I'll go in and I'll watch it and it'll be like, hey, this is number 7. It's this. And then I can confirm, because I'm literally seeing myself live sell it. Does that make sense? It's a video receipt where you can rewatch how you showed the item. So that has also been super helpful. I do really appreciate Whatnot's analytics and data that they provide for you. Right after the show, they'll send you a thing, literally a email and a notification within 10 minutes. Great job on your Whatnot show. This is what you sold. You sold this amount. You sold this many items. 7 people were new customers. It will give you all of that information, and I find that very helpful. I'm a little crazy upstairs. No, I really appreciate and I like to look over data, and I'm an analytical person. That's how my brain works. So not only do they send you that message, you can obviously go into your Seller Hub and check any of the data from any of your shows. I did find out that some of the data goes away after 30 days, because now I'm after 30 days out, and my 2 first shows, I'm at 34 days right now. You can't see some of the data anymore. So I don't know, maybe it's a storage thing. I don't know why it's that way, but I will say that I learned that as well. Another thing that I have learned in this 1 month journey is that Whatnot offers a tool as a seller to offer discounts to your buyers. And I set this up for my last show for the first time, and it's been very interesting. It was kind of an interesting thing. So what I mean is you can set up discounts for people who buy more than one item. They call it bronze, silver, gold level, champion level or something. And you get to offer discounts for customers, and it will show them. There's like a little crown, and it will show you the offers. So my bronze level is like, you have to buy 2 items and you'll get 5% off. And then I did like 7, 10. If you buy 5 items, you get 15% off. To be completely honest with you, I didn't have a 1,000% certain strategy with these discounts. I just wanted to try it and see what happened. And that's my numbers have like that odd percent, like how did I sell something for 47 cents? I didn't. It's because I offered these new discounts, and on my very last show, that's the only one I've done so far. And so at checkout, they got a discount. And one of the discounts is like 7%. So it ends up being like a funky amount, but I didn't want to set up too high because I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to go, of course. But a lot of people got it because they purchased multiple items. What does it do? Hopefully it helps encourage people to follow you and come back because they see that you offer a discount. 2, return customers, of course. And 3, if someone's already bought 1 item and they see, oh, if you buy 2 more items, you get 15% off. Hey, I'm a sucker for a good deal and a good coupon too. They may stay longer in your show and maybe try to find something else because they know they're going to get an additional percentage off. So I personally like that they offer this. I don't know all the details so far. It seems pretty straightforward. Like if you set up the discounts yourself. So I did it all myself. If you want to offer 50% off if they buy $100 or something, you go ahead and do that. You can do however you want to set it up for yourself. Bronze, silver, assumably the gold level is someone who buys 10 items, right? They're going to have a higher discount, but also they have to purchase more in order to get that discount. And I do think it's a good tool, a good seller tool, a way that we can help hopefully retain customers or get them coming back. What else? 1 month, a little over 2,000 sales. How do you guys feel about that? Like, I feel like I'm pretty proud of that. What I will also say, I have a lot to say apparently, is that I am slowing down on the shows. I came out the gate and I was going 1,000 miles a minute. I did like 3 or 4 shows within like 8 days or something. It was too much for me. As you guys know, I also do a lot of other things. I have the shop, my own brick and mortar shop that I help run. I co-own. And then I have, eBay, Poshmark, Depop. I have a day for sourcing. I have all these things that I came out strong, but it was too strong for me. I got fatigued. And so now my strategy is a little bit less. I'm only doing 1 or 2 shows a week and just continuing to do them consistently because they just got to be too much for me. Now, if Whatnot is your only thing, then your strategy might be different. I follow sellers on Whatnot, and that's all they do is Whatnot. So they are obviously more capable of doing many shows. I mean, I see people do shows every day, and that's their job is just Whatnot. But that's not me, and that's not my strategy, and that's not my business. So mind your business. So with all the things on my plate, it was too much, and now I've had to pivot and adjust. You guys, of course, figure that out for yourselves as well. My biggest thing that I hear and what I would agree with is try not to cancel anything. If you get overwhelmed and you aren't prepared as you want to be, just go and change your show, edit the date, and move it farther back. Don't cancel if you don't have to. Just push your date back because people will save your shows, and once you cancel it, then all those saves go away. So you ideally don't want to do that. I have gotten overwhelmed. I think one time maybe my kid was sick or something. I had to move the days back like 2 days. So I just moved it back and changed the time because life happens, and that is how it is sometimes. Life is life. Another thing that I will really, my advice to you is, this is going to be a tough one. It's tough for me too. Some people are going to like you and some people aren't. I know. I'm so sorry to have to say that to you. Same with me. I get people on my YouTubes. Sometimes people aren't going to like you. And I think a big part, of course, even here on YouTube, but also on Whatnot, is part of it is like a personality thing. People are going to bond with you. They're going to like your style or they're not. So be yourself. I literally put that in my notes. Be yourself. And I really mean that genuinely, because I have gone into all kinds of shows and watched other people because I want to learn from others as well. How do they do it? How do they sell it? Are they fast? Are they quick? You know, there's all these elements to it, but people have to want to listen to you for an hour or two. And I have gone into some shows and I'm like, whoa, I could not listen to this person for an hour. I don't even like listening to myself for an hour. So no one's going to offend. Well, maybe I'd be offended, but, people have to connect with you. That's part of Whatnot. 90% of people are on the screen at some point. The only exception to that I've ever found are people who sell, are more selling like baseball cards and old time collectibles where they just put it on the screen and they don't show their face. But even with that, my sons watch baseball. My husband is watching one right now. You have to connect with the person. And some of those people are not my people. They're like, some of them are really like, woo! Like if you weren't listening to me now, you're probably listening. So it probably works for them. But you go into their shows and they're so loud and they're like getting crazy and all these things. That just really isn't my personality. I'm kind of even tone with a side of sarcasm, you know, a little sass. And people are going to have to connect. People will connect with me who enjoy that type of personality, right? Like that's just life. If you like some of these really loud people, find your loud people. They're slinging things, they're honking horns, woo, getting all crazy. I listened to one of the baseball guys and he does that. He sells baseball cards and he's crazy. But not everyone's going to connect with that. I couldn't listen to that forever, but there are people who will, right? Because it's entertaining. I'm not entertaining. I'm not. I'm lame. I'm a lame old lady. I'm not cool at all. So be yourself, as in you'll find your people. It might take a while, but you'll find your people. People who enjoy the items you do as well. They enjoy talking to you and connecting to you. You know, it might take some time. I know these numbers are pretty good for being 1 month into Whatnot, but there have been times where I've literally been on Whatnot and there's 6, 7 people in there. No one's talking to me. No one's buying anything. And I'm just running items all by myself. Hey, here's another item. No one's saying anything or buying anything. That's just how it goes. But be yourself. I mean that genuinely. I'm thankful some of you tolerate me. God bless you. Lord knows I'm a crazy mess. But I do mean that genuinely. So let's see what else I have. Oh, social media. You know, I do have an Instagram. I'm not good at it, but I try. I obviously have YouTube, and I do think that has helped me. I'm not even going to lie. Some of my YouTube friends, my internet friends, come onto my shows and they talk to me, and that helps algorithm. They want to see people are engaged with you. And some of my YouTubers have bought from me, and I appreciate it so much. So many of you. I already mentioned some of you. So that has helped me, I will admit. But even if you don't have those tools, still post even on if you're comfortable on your personal page, or make a business Instagram, a business TikTok. I know nothing about TikTok. I don't have TikTok. But many people use it. So whatever social media you use or you enjoy or even know how to use, try it. Post things, use your hashtags. Hey friends, I'm a new Whatnot seller, or I'm going to be on YouTube, or I'm going to be on Whatnot tonight selling women's clothes. I got cashmere. Come see me. You know, try to engage, or even all you need is one customer, you guys. Some of my shows, I only have 4 or 5 customers, and that's enough to sell things, right? You don't have to have 1 million people. It'll help. I can only hope someday I have some of the, you know, the amount of followers so many people do. But it only takes a couple people to make a purchase from you to make your show worth it. So try out social media. And as I have already said, I'm on all my notes. No, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I closed my notebook. That's why I need a notebook, you guys. I've said this before about Whatnot as well. It's a long-term game. I say this in a lot of my comments. People are, you know, upset that they didn't sell anything. I really genuinely believe Whatnot is a long-term game, meaning you're not just going to go do 2 shows and go buy a BMW off your profits. It's not going to happen. You have to build a following. You have to find your people. You have to engage. You have to figure out what items are people looking for. I still don't even have that down. And I might not ever, but it's going to take some time. Be consistent, keep trying, do one show a week, and just keep at it. One way you can gain followers, of course, besides the organic way, is doing a giveaway. And your giveaways can be that they have to follow you. Some people, like I have thought about actually I did do a gift card. Rachel, did you win that? Rachel or Lori? I can't remember. I think it was Lori. Like a $5 gift card to McDonald's. I mean, hey, $10 gift card. Of course, that's a write-off and an investment into your business. But people are like, hey, I want to try to win $10 to Starbucks, wherever. And they have to follow you in order to enter the giveaway. The giveaway is ran completely by Whatnot. You don't get to pick anybody. You don't get to do, it's all ran by them, so you don't have to worry about any sketchy stuff. And they pick the winner for you. It's like, boom. Things by the Burke, you're the winner. It'll tell you who the winner is, but they have to follow you. So it's another way that you can encourage people to actually follow your page. A lot of people, the big timers, they'll put right on their graphic 5 giveaways today. They'll give away crazy stuff. And that will encourage people to, 1, come to their show, and 2, to follow them. 5 giveaways. If you're scrolling through and it says 5 giveaways today, you're like, oh, I think I'm going to stay in this show and see what happens, try my luck. And I think it does work for them. But for a lot of them, they have tens of thousands of followers. One of the people that I follow, who is actually at my bins, she sells live from my bins that I go to, has like 9,000 followers. And whenever you go on her show, she's got 40 people every time. She's been doing it 2 years. But now she pretty much consistently sells, and she almost always has someone in her shows. It took her 2 years. She does great. She sells a ton. She makes a ton. She also says she's tired sometimes because she'll sell 100, 200 items in a show. She sits at the bins for hours. They'll run for 4 or 5 hours. No lie. And, they have an endless supply of items out there because they're literally at the Goodwill outlet bins where there's an endless supply of items to sell. Now, I will say for me, your girl, my big Sasquatch body can't handle more than, my longest show was 2 hours. And I was sweating, I was drinking water, I needed a fan, I needed an oxygen tank. For me, I had to really build up a stamina. Most of my shows are an hour to 2 hours max. I've never gone over 2 hours. And I think long term for some of these bigger people, like the person from Goodwill Bins or people who are selling from pallets, they sell for hours and hours, and they probably make a ton of money. I'm not even gonna lie. Imagine I've sold $2,000 in 1 month, running shows for only an hour to an hour and a half. Imagine, I think often, my last show I ran for only 1 hour. My last show I sold $164.05 in 1 hour. What if I did that for 3 or 4 hours? You're talking about a couple, $300, $400, $500. Could I do that? If I had enough product to show them and people interested in what I was selling? Yeah. 164 was my last show, and I only did 1 hour. It was boop. That's all I had. And I still had people on when I left, which was sad, but I had to go to work. So that is what it is. So something to think about as well. Long-term game, stay grounded. I'm sure you all are doing a great job. It's even a good reminder for me that this is a journey. It's a brand new way to sell for me. And you're going to learn and adjust. I've made adjustments. I've learned things. I messed up shipping my first time. I talked about that in one of my other videos. I'm still learning. It is what it is. You don't just get on a bike and ride it 10 miles. You know what I mean? You have to do the things and learn what works for you and what doesn't. And that's my 1 month update. 2,000 in sales, 11 shows, some negatives, some positives. You guys saw that blubbery mess of a crying video because I was so upset and so emotionally invested in my business and wanting it to go well that it didn't at one point. And I'm sure there's going to be more. I just got a neutral on eBay the other day, and it was a dumb one. Maybe I should do a separate YouTube on that, because that was silly. I couldn't even believe that they left me. But that's part of the game. I'm not going to cry over it now, huh? Please, if you made it all the way to the end, you guys know I love you. Drop any questions you have. I do try to answer everyone when I can. If you have specific questions, go into my Whatnot playlists. There's been some other helpful information along the way. I did do a video specifically on shipping. And if that's one of your concerns or your struggles, I literally screen share, I can't talk today. I've got all these S's coming out. What the shipping looks like in my seller hub. So you can literally see what I'm seeing. And I think that's really helpful. So go back into my playlist and watch those. I hope this was helpful in some way. That's it. 1 month into Whatnot. I really don't think I'm going to match that in my second month. I'll just be honest, because I'm not going to be doing as many shows because I just can't. I couldn't handle it. I was getting all sorts of frazzled, and it was too much for me with all the other things that I juggle. So I think the next month will be lower, but purposefully because I can't do as many shows. So I think that's the trade-off there. So I hope you guys are doing well. Love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.